Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on Storyblok course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator, and as always, you can get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. I want to make sure everything's okay for anybody watching online, so you have a chat. Feel free to type in the chat. Make sure you can hear me okay, you can see me okay, because we had a little trouble right at the beginning with going live for some reason, but I think we're good to go right now. So welcome to those of you watching live. I appreciate you being here. Today, I have a special guest presenter. He's back. He presented a couple of weeks ago. He is Siavash Moazzam Vahid. He's a content marketer at Storyblok, and today he's going to show us how to work with components in Storyblok to build a variety of landing pages. This is focused on the author, and you'll see how to use all these components to be able to be flexible. Very cool. It's going to be a very cool one. Now, as you know how this works, we do this every, 3 times a week. I got to tell you about headlesscreator.com. Go get your free account. You'll have access to this lesson right after we're done with the live event. You'll have access to it via on demand. In the Focus on Storyblok course, of course, not only will you have access to this, but you'll have access to a whole bunch of other let me show you right here, a whole bunch of other lessons, focus on authors, administrators, and developers. So get your free account, get that, and then you will have access not only to that, but you also have access to the Content Modeling Weekly course and a whole bunch of other courses on headless CMSs and the Discover Headless Tech. It's all 100% free, thanks to our sponsor. So go ahead and get that. And help me reach 1,000 users. I was supposed to reach 700 users by middle of August. I hit 700 users yesterday, I think it was, and today I'm already at 715 users. So I think I'm going to hit 800 by the middle of August. I don't know, maybe we'll hit 1,000 by September. Who knows? Hopefully. Anyway, that's it. No more marketing. We're done with that stuff. You know how this works out. I'm going to go ahead and restart the intro here because the on-demand version has absolutely no marketing. We're going to jump into the interview with Siavash, and then we'll jump into the lesson as well. So I will see you guys in just 10 seconds. Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on Storyblok course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, right there. Get a hold of me, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, whatever you like, feel free to reach out to me. Today, my presenter, special guest presenter, is back. He taught a lesson a couple of weeks ago. His name is Siavash Moazzam Vahid. He's a content marketer at Storyblok, and he's going to show us how to work with components in Storyblok so that we can create a variety of landing pages. Now, I'm not going to tell you anything else about him because I prefer him to talk about himself. He'll do a much better job than I will.
Hi, Marcelo. Hi, everyone.
Siavash, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. Surviving the hot Austrian summer.
Oh my God, same here. We're hitting about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I think like 30 something, 30 high 30s, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are in the low mid 30s, but still it's just unbearable.
And the humidity is like 70% on top of that, so it's it's unbearable. Yeah, I turned off my fan here because I don't want the audio to come through, but man, whew.
Yeah,
exactly. So where are you located for those of you those that don't know where you're at?
I'm located in Graz, which is the second biggest city in Austria. It's kind of in southern Austria. I studied here and I'm working here.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So we have Facundo saying hello.
Hey,
so hello, Facundo. I'm glad to have you here. Great. So let's talk a little bit. You know what? If people want to know how you got to where you are, they can watch the other one. Yeah. Today, I'm just going to jump into something personal. I notice you have a guitar to your, it's my left, your right, right? So are you a musician on the side or?
Kinda. I was actually studying to become a career musician, like a classical guitarist, and
No
I
kidding.
studied that, and I got a bachelor in performance and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was kind of like a long time ago. I still do it as something fun on the side, so I like fill my time with either going to concerts or just playing myself. But yeah, I do. I do play music.
Do you play out with like for people outside? Do you do
I used to.
performance?
I used to. Yeah, I used to give concerts too. When I was still, studying to become a
Yeah.
performer, but not anymore. I
No
haven't made like
recordings that we can look up on YouTube?
no, nothing official. I just made like recordings for like if you want to enter a competition or something, then you have to do it. But nothing really public. No.
Okay, so because you're going to do another lesson, I think, in next week or a
In
couple
2
of
weeks.
weeks. In
Yeah,
2 weeks, yeah.
yeah.
So on that one, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm not going to interview you. We're going to use the time of the interview for you to play your guitar. We'll do that, and I'm going to hold you to that. All right.
Sure.
All right, Shivash. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and add your screen. We can
All
see
right,
your screen.
perfect.
As always, for those of you that are watching live, if you have any questions, type them in the chat. I will go ahead and ask Shivash. Shivash, I'll jump in if I have any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to go on mute.
All right, cool. Thanks. Hi again, everyone. Yes, as Marcel mentioned, today I'm going to talk about how you can use the components built in Storyblok and components to make different landing pages. Well, technically any kind of content you want. I'm just taking landing pages as an example today. Now, the funny thing is that, as I mentioned in the last lesson, these lessons are meant to be kind of independent, but also built on top of each other. So the thing is that if you go back and look at the other lesson where I went through the visual editor in Storyblok, you know that the creation part of it is not that complicated, really. So actually creating the landing page itself is a matter of minutes and just a couple of clicks. And because of that, I'm just going to spend like a couple of minutes talking about that. But what I'm going to do mostly today is to talk about all the tools and capabilities and all the options that you have available to you as a content author to then create a landing page, because the creation itself, as I said, is pretty simple. It's very intuitive. Today's lesson is more about what are the capabilities that Storyblok offers that you may choose or may choose not to use, whatever. And also talk a little bit about how Storyblok in general structures content. I think that's really important to know, particularly because as your operations grow, as your team expands, or as your content just starts to pile up, it's interesting to it's helpful to know how things usually work in Storyblok, because then you can easily apply the same kind of philosophy to your own project, applying the same kind of structure there. Because not knowing that, you can certainly do things, you can create content and publish it easily, but just knowing this idea behind the way Storyblok organizes content, I think can be really helpful. So saying that, let me jump right in. If you look at the screen that I have here, so if you open an account, if you have a Storyblok account, whatever, if you log in, this is the first page that you would see, right? So I'm going to go through the options that we have here, what are spaces, then we're going to go on and look at a space, and so on, and creating our landing page. All right, so right at the beginning, I just want to get this out of the way. Here with the Storyblok logo on the right side, you have a drop-down menu, and these are your general account settings, right, and your plugins. So if you just go here, I'm not going to walk through these. These are your standard account settings. And if something is maybe not clear, there's this question mark there that you can hover over, and you can explain, what's the point? Like, why should I give my phone number? Well, it's because of authentication through SMS, right? Same thing with plugins. It's pretty clear what they are, right? So this is the plugins here that you can see what kind of plugin you have in your account, and you can edit them, and you can add new ones, and you can search up there. And there's a logout, right? So I'm not going to do that. Now, going back to the main page and talking about the structure of content, the first thing you see in Storyblok is, the screen basically asking you to create a new space, or you can do it through here. So just let's stop for a second and ask, what are spaces? So spaces in Storyblok are basically your content repositories. So each space is an individual content repository. And you can create as many spaces as you would like as a user. The way you should structure your content with spaces is that each space basically should include the kind of content that you're going that are shared, that have something in common. All the content that you use for a single project should be organized in a single space. For example, if you have a set of content that you're going to use